English.
Founder and Director of TERRE Policy Centre.
Just you need to wait.
Okay. Good afternoon, all the journalists presented here. I am Dr. Vinita Apte, founder and director of TERRE Policy Centre. TERRE means Earth in French, and we stand for technology, education, research, and redevelopment for the environment. We have a couple of partnerships here, and the most important partnership for this year's COP28 with Global Carbon Council, and Dr. Yousef and Kishor are present here, Kishor Rajhansa. They are doing a very good work again, means to fight the climate change, which will be always for the environment, for the earth, and for all of us benefits, not only in terms of environment, but it's kind of a climate fund.
Thank you, Vinita. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us today at the COP28 on behalf of the Global Carbon Council, the GCC, and the Gulf Organization for Research and Development, GORD. I welcome you all at this prestigious platform of COP28 that has consistently proven to be a hub for global climate advisory and sustainable development solutions. Today, we are excited to unveil a number of forward-looking climate initiatives that resulted from years of dedication and innovation aimed at addressing the pressing challenges of climate change. Before we make this announcement, allow me to quickly introduce GORD and GCC. GORD is an RDI entity recognized among leading organizations in the global sustainability milieu. Its organization's key operations include research and development, standard setting, knowledge dissemination, and advisory services on sustainability and climate change for governments, non-government, public and private sector organizations. The Global Carbon Council, GCC, is the first international carbon standard program based in the Global South. GCC is accredited by the United Nations International Civil Aviation Organization for the CORSIA scheme and the International Carbon Reduction and Offsetting Alliance, CROA. Today, we are proud to showcase some of our initiatives dedicated to creating a more resilient and environmentally conscious world. First of all, we'd like to announce the establishment of the Climate Action Center of Excellence. First and foremost, we are proud to announce that GORD, as a pioneer and the promoter of Global Carbon Council, is launching today the new initiative or the new Center of Excellence, focusing on activating Article 6 of the Paris Agreement. This new initiative called Climate Action Center of Excellence, GACE, will support governments and the private sector with capacity building and policy framework development. The Climate Action Center of Excellence, GACE, will provide a comprehensive package of high-impact solutions to accelerate the implementation of the Paris Agreement with the overarching goal to achieve decarbonization by the mid-century. It will be committed to training governments and the private sector teams in leveraging carbon markets for Paris Agreement goals. Through its global network, our center will connect high-quality project developers with potential buyers supplying high-quality internationally transferable mitigation outcomes ITMOs. At the same time, it will facilitate international cooperation for accelerated global decarbonization, offering support in innovative policy mechanisms and Article 6.2 methodologies. On the other front, continuing our commitment to innovation and climate solution, GCC is proud to announce two key developments. First, we have unveiled a new regulatory framework for the carbon capture and storage, CCS, currently open for public consultation on our website. Simultaneously, the GCC has introduced a project standard for nature-based solution, NBS, also available for public consultation. These frameworks are designed to channel critical finance into renewable technologies essential for achieving the ambitious goal of the net zero by 2050. The initiatives I just have shared with you today merely scratch the surface of the comprehensive range of solutions that GCC and GORD are currently offering and actively developing for future launch. It is our sincere hope that our efforts bear fruit, serving as catalyst for tangible progress towards climate resilience. Thank you. So I just hand the mic to my colleague, Mr. Kishor.
So in addition to what Dr. Yousef Alhorr, the chairman of Global Carbon Council said, another significant outcome of our presence at COP28 is the collaboration initiative with key carbon standards. We are proud to announce that GCC has joined forces with 5 leading independent carbon market standards to foster scale and integrity in carbon market with the primary objective of operationalizing Article 6 and supporting nationally determined contribution under Paris Agreement. This event took place yesterday under the aegis of COP presidency. In unison with the fellow standard setter, GCC is committed to 7 core principles aimed at establishing a pathway for more responsible market practices, reinforcing our dedication to the integrity of carbon markets worldwide. And we are releasing a separate press release regarding this, which should be out today from our GCC team as such. So, yeah, we open the floor for any questions that you may have. Your questions are crucial in shaping the narrative of our collective efforts. We invite any queries on today's announcement, our organization strategies, and broader landscape of climate action. Thank you.
Any questions from the audience? Yes.
This standards for CCS particularly, they have been under very critical lens. But you mentioned about the nature-based solutions. how these both could be reconciled, because these, I think, to majority understanding, these two are contradictory to each other. When you go for the nature-based solutions, you naturally the carbon capture and storage, that's basically the engineering technology based. So how these two could reconcile with each other?
So thank you for your question. We believe that reduction, removal, and avoidance, all three are the very integral part of for the mitigating climate actions and for the net zero world. While GCC has reduction and avoidance methodology, for example, renewable energy for energy efficiency, waste management, transport, and all, there is also a necessity to develop the methodology to promote the removal actions. And the carbon capture and storage, as well as the nature-based solutions, both are the answer to this, because this is what is promoting the renewables technology. And for a net zero world, all the measures are needed. We cannot rely on one type of measure or other. All measures are needed, which is including nature-based solutions, including carbon capture and storage, from the point sources or from the direct air capture. So the methodology that we are releasing it includes direct air capture, it includes the biogenic emission capture and storage, as well as it includes the capture and storage from the point sources, from the fossil fuel-based plants as well. And we believe that they don't run contradictory to each other, because, as I said, all climate actions are needed for the net zero world. Thank you.
Also, one more remark to make here. GCC, the Global Carbon Council, is an enabler or enabling platform. So we'd like really to facilitate the work of different constituents of the society to do their bits. So there might be like CCC projects which are, away or far away from, places which are suitable for nature-based solutions. So they might be in different locations, different parts of the world. So our part is really to encourage all those constituents to contribute positively towards the climate action. And this is the concept behind having a platform like the GCC.
Any other question? Any other question? I would like to ask one thing. In fact, means you can suggest some, there are a couple of engagements and MOUs you have signed in this couple of days. So the little bit of procedure to approach you from the countries, because there are many small countries also, and they want to approach directly to you for getting the carbon credits or for their projects. So can you describe a little bit procedure, how to approach?
Yeah, thank you for this question. Important. So we have a regulatory framework which has standards, procedures, guidelines, methodologies, tools for carrying out the climate action or implementing the carbon project in the country. So these standards and procedure documents has elaborate procedure how one can actually approach us. So they have to first conceive the project, they have to find out a suitable methodology within the GCC, and you will find all those flow diagrams in our documents on our website, publicly available. So it's a 100% transparent system. Everything is publicly available on our website. So these procedures tell you how do you conceive the project, how do you apply a GCC approved methodology, how do you write the project design document, and then submit it for our consideration, then get the third party validation done from a GCC approved validators. After that, you submit a request for registration. We have a full governance bodies working with us. We have an advisory board which is giving us strategic direction. There is a steering committee which is responsible for approval of projects and issuances. And then there is a regulatory committee made of another 10 members which is responsible for developing our standards and regulatory framework. Well, not developing, but approving those frameworks. So you basically submit it to us. We make a recommendation. Well, not you, basically the validator submits it to us, and we do our own due diligence. We make a recommendation to steering committee, and finally the project is registered. Every year, for 10 years, you can get the carbon credits for every project. We have a 10 years crediting period. So the project owner has to monitor its project every year, submit the monitoring report to an independent third-party verifier who goes on the site, checks whether all the GCC rules have been met or not, and then submit a request for issuance of the carbon credit every year. And then this is again vetted by us as a secretariat or the operations team, and then we make a recommendation to steering committee, and steering committee agrees to issue the carbon credits. And I just want to add here that it is not only carbon credit, we have plethoras of, I would say, the labels that we are bringing in, the SDG, the SDG plus labels towards the to contribution of the project towards sustainable development goals, the S plus label for demonstrating that the project has no social net harm, and E plus label for demonstrating that project has no environmental net harm. In addition to that, if all these labels are met, then we issue you the CORSIA label, which means that your credits become eligible for international airlines for their carbon neutral growth commitment made to International Civil Aviation Organization. And also we issue the CA plus label, which is corresponding adjustment plus label, which means that the host country of the project has given an authorization letter, a commitment that if the credits are transferred outside the country, whether for the private sector or for the NDC compliance of an acquiring country, the host country is willing to make a corresponding adjustment to its inventory by increasing the inventory by respective amount. So all environmental integrity provisions are there within our standard, and the procedures how to submit the projects are there as well. Thank you.
I would like to raise a question, maybe it's not relevant, but the Gulf Organization for Research and Development also doing a lot of work in this category. So can you explain a bit about your research on which category you are doing this and how it is related to the environment?
Well, basically within the Gulf Organization for Research and Development, we have our Center of Excellence, which is GORD Institute. GORD Institute focuses on pushing the limits in two main fields and areas, energy efficiency as well as eco-friendly materials. With respect to the energy efficiency, we are conducting several research on the cooling technologies, especially in areas where the temperature is high and the level of humidity also is soaring. The cooling demand takes almost 60 up to 70% of the electricity generated, and this is really, in fact, very important aspect. Therefore, we have worked over the years to develop ultra-efficient cooling system where we have integrated the conventional cooling systems, the vapor compression, indirect evaporative cooling, as well as desiccant dehumidification. All those technologies being incorporated into one solution, one system. The system now can save between 30 to 50% in energy consumption compared to the conventional systems. We are looking really to scale up the research activity on these cooling systems to be taken to the commercial domain. Hopefully within short time we can see commercial products of this type. Also on the materials front, we've been conducting different research activities. One of the prominent, I would say, patented technology is the new formulation for cement. As you all know, cement industry is considered next to the oil and gas in terms of the carbon footprint and carbon emissions. We have developed a technology whereby we can reduce the carbon footprint by 20 to 25% by bringing a new cement formulation called calcium sulfoaluminate cement. And also this research project already been granted patent application by the World Intellectual Property Organization, Also, we are hoping that to take this research activity from the bench scale to upscale it to the commercial angle. So there are really several activities taking place with respect to the research angle. Also, in terms of the standard setting. Standard setting also, this is, a very prominent activity within GORD. Over the years also, we have developed region-specific green buildings certification system used for buildings and also infrastructure projects. We have so far certified more than 2,000 projects having total area of more than 2 billion square foot. And each building to be certified and to be eligible to receive our certification must, in design phase, demonstrate that the building or the project reduces 30% from the baseline. So it should be like, performing from energy perspective, and then the embodied carbon emissions 30% better than the standard or business as usual. We have seen really, different constituents also of the society, from the industry as well, embarking on such initiative and getting such certifications. In Qatar, for example, we are proud that all the stadiums which served the tournament, the FIFA World Cup, were designed, constructed, and operated based on our stringent requirement and standards. I would say also we have the railways project, all the metro stations, be it above ground, underground, also adhering to our standards. One of the, I would say, maybe, or the only infrastructure project in this category, railways, which has been designed, constructed, and operated based on third-party certification agency, complying with the energy and carbon emissions footprint.
Thank you, Dr. Yousef. It's excellent work you are doing in research and development. And one last question to Kishor, and then you can sum up with your appeal. Means extending the earlier speech of yours, people have to go through country level or the government level for applying these credits, or they can apply on their own?
Yeah, so no, that's a good question. Just to clarify, now the markets are, as we speak, are three-prong approach the markets are following. I would say one is voluntary market, the second one is CORSIA market, and the third one is the Article 6.2 or Article 6.4 market. So when you talk about the voluntary carbon market, since there is no corresponding adjustment is needed, no authorization letter is needed, project owners can directly reach us. When it comes to Article 6.2 market, the project owners must have a letter of authorization from the host country allowing them to sell the credits, in outside the country, which is for the international market purposes under Article 6.2, or even if they want a CORSIA credit, they must have the letter of authorization. So depending upon which type of market you want to supply your credit to, you have to select whether you want to approach us directly or through the government, because of course you can submit the project to us directly, but whether the credit will be sold to voluntary market or to a compliance market, it depends upon the letter of authorization, whether your country allows you to sell credit and apply the corresponding adjustment or not. Yeah.
And how many countries you have a consultant already you have in contract with them?
Well, Singapore has already recognized GCC to be one of the programs which will be used for their tax compliance purposes. So Singapore entities can buy the carbon credit which are issued by the CORSIA eligible carbon credit issued by the GCC, and it can be retired in the Singapore registry towards the carbon tax application. Up to 5% of the carbon tax can be compensated by use of the carbon credit, but we are also talking to several countries right now. We are signed now with the Egyptian carbon exchange. We are also talking to Saudi Arabia carbon exchange as well. We are also receiving a lot of inquiries from India, from and other countries, private sector exchanges like CTX and CBL we are signed with. So exchanges are going to scale up, going to bring the scale and efficiency into the carbon market transactions, and we really look forward for complete digitization of our registry in coming days. Right from it will provide end-to-end solution, standard exchange registry, as well as in future we might encourage our project owner to submit their project to some of the auction facility in future. So that is also under considerations. Thank you.
Any other questions from the floor? Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Last sum up, the closing remarks. Dr. Yousef.
I mean, basically, we are very excited and for the future coming ahead of us in terms of initiatives. Lots of work now to be done on the government level, on the organization level, as well as on the individual levels, really to collaborate and cooperate in order to be able to achieve the Paris objectives and keep the limit of temperature rise below 1.5 degrees so that to save the societies and the globe at large. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.